I saw the cleaning was done, but she wants the top of the stove done as well, which I don't get because mom's having friends over, a friend over. What does this stuff have to do with anything? Is she gonna be coming into the kitchen for a reason? So here, so you guys can witness firsthand. There's a lot of grease, so I'm gonna use to start with just paper towel. Try to get some of this excess before we get to the grating. So yeah, so my room, which is really not my room because I don't live here, but I get to crash on the couch on times that I am here, has been transformed into a proper living room area because of invited guests. Alright, so where's the main, oh, here it is. I was told by a person I worked for once that does a cleaning business. This is it. Squirt. Why isn't that squirting? Is my water down? Oh, there it goes. Alright, that should suffice. Then we have to get a metal, what do you call these things? So like a metal, you know what they used to consume illicit substances with. I think we call it brillo or whatever. And just put some muscles into it to get all of the stains, or as much as you can. Some of them are just there because they don't come off. Like when you cook something, turn up the heat really high. Yeah, that's a keeper, and then it's not gonna go anywhere. I mean, usually I like to do this as fast as I can because there's no point in wasting your time cleaning something that's gonna be dirty again. Earlier today I did the microwave and I was all happy thinking, yay, I did something today constructive. Maybe mom will be happy. She barely looked inside and didn't see a thing. It maybe didn't help that when I opened it I said, oh man, I missed a spot. But that wouldn't have made a difference anyway. What is this? Look at this. That was like when you open the oven. Garbage. Let's get some of this out of here too. When you open the oven. Alright. Now after the brillo, we rinse it out and squeeze it. You guys can see that because I have one camera, or one phone I should say. I don't even have a proper camera. Which is okay. No point in crying to you guys. Because then, why would you watch me? It's like the saying goes. I would complain, but who would listen? Where are we used to have like those things made in Germany, you know, the powwows. What did mom do with them? I don't know what she did with them, so now I gotta use these, which are made of cloth, they're not made out of powwow, and I don't like them at all. I don't know why she replaced them. So, get them wet. In my opinion, they don't work anywhere near as good as, well, they probably work as good as a powwow, but I just like the powwow better. It just, I don't know, maybe I don't like the fact of ruining cotton. I'm a big fan of cotton. Did I just say that out loud? That sounded weird. I do like cotton t-shirts though. They're very comfortable. And the one cotton t-shirt that I want right now, which I'm not gonna be able to get because obviously my budget is laughable, is the t-shirt that says champions for Inter Miami. It's called the Locker Room t-shirt. It celebrates their 2023 Champions Cup against Nashville. And as of today, they've gone 12 games undefeated. And yesterday was a game without Messi, which makes me wonder, why isn't Campana part of the Ecuador the Ecuador national team? They're making a mistake there. But that's probably why in 2022 they didn't advance past round 16, whatever you call it. They didn't pass the qualifiers. Don't get me wrong, I love Ecuador. Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, Bolivia. Gran Colombia. Until the U.S. decided to come in and just steal Bolivia for their own personal gain. And then us Americans, or some of us, we cry when Russia does the same thing and rigs the elections. They're just following suit for what the U.S. has been doing for forever. So don't get too upset, my fellow citizens. Alright, so I rinsed that cloth thing, try to get all the chemicals off of it. So the next thing I will do, let's see if I can turn this around. Maybe you can get a view. Okay, maybe you can get a view. Just wash my hands. I'll show you why in a minute. Because essentially the surface of the stove, food may land on it, and human habit is just, if you see food, you pick it up. And when you consume chemicals, it's usually not a good, it's not a good combo. So what I do is I wash my hands. I would grab a couple plies of paper towel. This is the one that you can select. Well, not like that, but like from here. Okay. And then for the final part, it's just I do this so that water gets on it. So that hopefully that water will dilute and maybe also dry some of the chemicals. I should have done it before and after, in case I did. Maybe I did, but I doubt I did. Oh, another thing too, you want to get the back of the stove and this part here, because sometimes grease will start you know, popping up when because you know, as anything gets hot, it gets agitated. The atoms and the molecules and whatever the mixture is, they'll start getting agitated, and then thus creating energy. Thus, that energy will make it jump up and down. There, you learned a little bit of physics today. Is that white from chemicals? No, that's white from light. All right, see, like now this right here, these we can't get out. But the rest, as you can see, oh, and right here, this was dirty, this little black spot. And this here. Next thing I will need to do is clean down there. I'll leave that for another day. Thank you. Hi everybody, YouTube, people, anybody. Doesn't matter at this point. It's all fake. Except for what's happening to me. Or at least I hope. I truly hope that this is some type of identity theft, because obviously there's proof it's happened, and I should screenshot that before the county decides to erase it, because unless there's someone else with my name, because that particular incident did not say my middle name, it only said my first and last name. And also I had to send something to the police department because someone is spamming me with a different email address. They are using my first and last name as well. But whatever, none of these things matter, because what really matters is apparently the tactics that the officers or detectives used with my parents, so that they're in a mind frame where, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Oh, excuse me. Ridiculous with a capital R. But as long as I don't self-incriminate myself, I believe everything should be okay. And self-incrimination is a lot easier than it looks. I could be doing it now without realizing it, but it's a lot easier than it looks. Because, trust me, a police officer is not your friend. Even police officers, sometimes when they're off duty, I would say there are two kinds. There are the ones that truly care about the well-being of others, and they are really just providing a public service. And then there's the ones that, because they're police officers, they feel as if they have complete control over, whatever situation might arise, and how to handle it, how to de-escalate the information, the confrontation, or whatever it is. But there are plenty. I've had quite a few encounters with officers of the law that were the nicest ones were probably women, because women, I believe please don't call me sexist, but I believe they have more of a nurturing side. So when they approach me, instead of being how an officer normally, actually officers normally aren't like that towards me anymore, because they know I don't mean no harm. At the very most, there are external factors which I know they say life's 90% of what happens to you and 10% how you react, but sometimes that 90% causes that 10% of my reaction to maybe take it up a little notch. And those are not good instances. I could sit here and I could talk about it, and it would actually, uh, my audience would be engaged because I'd be unfiltered. But at the same time, in IRL, it's just not worth it. There was a person in IRL. I finally figured out who it was because I thought perhaps their account was hacked, but they they commented, and I put allow all comments because I believe in free speech. But some of these comments were so derogatory or complete libel that I almost felt to the point where I was going to have to age restrict that video, even though the video had nothing, not one shed of evidence for it to be um, self-restricted. But I just don't want people reading those comments and then being like, "Oh my goodness, is this what we have on the internet?" Like it's just so, you know, people that leave comments like that, instead of projecting outward, like projecting outward, like what other people may or may not be doing, may or they may not be saying, why don't you instead project inward? That way you can maybe learn, what is causing you to project these, like, just such, like, what's a good word to describe it? Horrible? No, it's just straight, it's just disgusting. It was disgusting. And it was just, and like I said, it was complete libel. And just, if it wasn't for the person whom it was, I'd probably file a lawsuit, because it was just something that there was no proof, there was no, and the gravity of the statement was such that I thought for a second maybe that's what warranted this so-called investigation that's being done on me because of that, because of what this person said, because some of the things they said, they were serious. I'm talking about like CP and other things weren't so bad about lying and whatever. And I will say this, one time I did lie, and I did it on purpose. I did it so I could learn more about the person of whom I was lying to, and I'll tell you, and I'll explain, okay? There is a type of liar, maybe this is one that maybe smoked too much marijuana, and their short-term memory can't create a long-term memory, because you know how memory works. It has to go through your short-term before it creates a long-term. So I lied to see how they would react. First of all, the items that I took were stuff that essentially the individual whom I took them for possessed them illegally, okay? Did I say firstly or secondly? Anyways, next, I waited to see what they said, exactly what was missing. Okay, so they said what was missing. It was close enough, but it wasn't even what was missing, okay? And then I kept quiet. I waited until they finally brought it up again. And then what was missing changed, or not exactly the items, but the numbers of the items changed. And then, sure enough, I waited again, and then it changed even more. So it's like, another example was, there was a court date, okay? Now, both parties thought that they had to go, right? So then they agreed not gonna go. So then the first thing that person said was, oh, I didn't show up, I didn't go, right? And then a day or two later, oh, I didn't show up, I didn't go, but I called to make sure everything was okay. So now the story changed. You know, it's like, but that's life. You know, best thing you can do, be still, practice your faith, and I'm sure there's probably going to be someone in the comments saying, why don't you practice what you say? Well, let me tell you something, honey, or man, or sir. As much as you practice your faith, good for you, but it's only by the grace of the Almighty that we are permitted in heaven. And secondly, I would advise you to learn more about the word before you have comments to say about it. And lastly, I would also advise you, if you really love your family, not to be religious, but to at least maybe just the golden rules. Do unto others how you would have them do unto you, and forgive us our and forgive trespasses how you would want trespasses to be forgiven against you. You know, because for people that say that they're from a predominantly country, from a country that's predominantly Catholic, I'm guessing they're the minority in that scenario. Anyways, I just made this video because I'm tired. I just had to like literally clean the house. I'm gonna show you guys what my bedroom now looks like. Had to mop, vacuum, put away a bunch of stuff. Dad did some of the dusting. I helped just a tiny bit, and it was all just to prepare for a visit. Which, if you ask me, the house was clean enough, but I guess, you know, my parents were born in a different country. They were born in a country that their education system is one of the best in the world, besides maybe like China and Japan, I guess. But it's up there with like Jamaica and other third world countries where they give a lot of emphasis to education. I'll say another one would be Germany, because Germany has a lot of bright minds. But they were raised in that environment. They were in they raised me with the concept of, oh, we want to give our children stuff that we never had, which is essentially the definition of being spoiled. So I was raised spoiled, and look how I turned out to be. But that doesn't mean that, well, let me rephrase it. Let me just say this. There's always a second chance. And also, it's never too late. I'm not going to let this stuff bring me down. I have an appointment with my doctor. And I'm going to have a discussion and hopefully see, you know, what's the best way to deal with it. I did tell a third person about what happened. They told me call a public defender. And other than that, that's it. Keep checking every day. Make sure there's no charges, no warrants, nothing. So hopefully this will just dwindle down into just oblivion. If not, I almost thought, you know what, this might be good, because I'm not sure, but according to popular media, if they have no charges against you, they can hold you for 24 hours. And if that is the case, that would be pretty cool, because that would be 24 hours for someone to experience what it is to be a single parent. Even though knowing mom and dad, they won't allow that because they care too much about the princess. But being a single parent is far from easy. All right. Thanks, everybody. Peace and love to all. Ciao. Hey, it's me again. Another scene. If I edit it. I have no idea what I'm shooting. I was gonna apply for another position for. Well, I tried to go to healthcare.gov or the insurance. What do they call it? The insurance marketplace. But it's really healthcare.gov. And allegedly, I had already tried because when I put in my password, it said that I already tried it, but I don't remember the questions that I asked to change my password, so I'm gonna have to call. And also, before I do that, tomorrow's Monday, I'm gonna go speak. I'm gonna see if I can speak to the uh, social worker, the one who sent a fax for me back in the 31st of May. But because of the fact that I don't reside here, I just receive my mail and crash. I have to, sometimes I get things and I don't get them in time and I don't respond in time. So I'm going to have to go to her and find out a solution for that. For her, I've already applied for 2 positions. Lot attendant, that's in Fort Lauderdale, and manager training in Davie. So if you're wondering what these are the Princesses earphones, which we have the cord, but we don't have the adapter, so I have to plug it to the computer's USB until this turns blue. Okay, so let's go straight to the site. It's hertzcareers.com. Again, this was recommended by a buddy of mine. He told me 3 different things, but 2 of them I think are kind of far. And Mom, after she told me the news that she might not sell the car, she wants me to try to apply close by. Which, when I come to think about it, I think Fort Lauderdale is kind of far. Let's push careers. Okay. But I ain't got J-O-B. Did I spell it wrong? Hertz. Careers. Oh, I missed an R after the final E. A lot of tobacco. Alright, so now, first thing it asks you, accelerate your career. You can do fine or you can do near location. I've chosen near location. Postal code automatically brings up your postal code because I allowed Chrome to allow this website to access my location. Yada yada yada. I do not have a what's it called? I don't have a resume. I just have to wing it. See if anybody wants to take a chance. There's a driver position in Pembroke Pines, but I don't have a driver's license. And even the lot attendant, I think you have to have a driver's license, a driver's license, but whatever. I don't have a summary. That's what the word I was looking for. That's the word that was used to use before resume. Actually, it was probably curriculum vitality, because that's Latin, and Latin is older. A lot of stuff in Fort Lauderdale. As you all know, Fort Lauderdale is probably the biggest city in Broward County, or the most known. I don't know. Alright, finish loading. Let's see what we have. Oh gosh, these were posted back from June and July. I think that's gonna be it. Due to the fact that today is Sunday, I cannot make a call to, I would imagine, to healthcare.gov. I would imagine they're closed. I also cannot make a call to the caseworker who is helping me in, you know, when I have to fax that paper to apply for Medicaid, which I need to, because it's arm and a leg. I mean, pretty much just about what I can make in a month if I can find some type of work. So that's that. And alright, let me just say goodbye to everybody. I said in all the videos, and I still wish it to all of you, may peace be with you, and enjoy your day. We'll see if I've been trying to upload a video. I did a 3-hour challenge. It's been trying to upload since yesterday. Hasn't even finished uploading. But at this point, I don't want to do a GoFundMe because I do not see myself getting any monies. I know I'm supposed to think optimistic, but due to the fact that I barely got any donations in the past, I can already foresee this just being, and I understand there's a lot of scams out there, people trying to scam people. So it's a shame that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bad seeds, you know, lay the foundation for so that everybody else, when they see something, they think twice, or think that it's a scam. When in reality, I would prefer to hire a private lawyer. Public defenders, they work in the same building as the prosecutor, so they're essentially colleagues. But enough of that. Thank you. Have a blessed one. Enjoy your day. Be safe. And ciao.